Hello, BJD Addicts. It is Spore, and I'm here with Spencer, who I don't think I've shown in a while, so he's my kid Delftana, so Spencer says hello. And we are here today to discuss BJD Addicts prompt number 42. Can't believe there's 42 prompts, which is how to avoid scams. So I'm going to be looking up at my computer a bit because I have some notes on there, so if you see me looking up, which I will be, it's because I have some notes there. So how to avoid scams in the BJD hobby. Unfortunately, your very best way to avoid scams is to buy directly from the company. Make sure that you research your company and check with other people and what they've posted about it. That's always pretty foolproof. If you're interested in a company and you're worried that they may not be legit, check out what other users have had to say. Also, a list of all legit companies you can find on BJD Collectacy, so I'll link that below. So if you are wondering about if the company is legit or not, they should all be on there. If you don't see it on there, then I would definitely check out what other people have had to say. By Googling or by visiting Den of Angels, any way that you can find out more information. So that's your only foolproof way of making sure that the doll that you get is not a scam and not a recast of any kind. But if you want to browse the secondhand market, which I have done, here are some tips to avoid scams. The first is to make sure that you read the sales thread really thoroughly and check back with the company. Make sure that they're not ripping you off, and make sure that the doll that they're posting does belong to them. So you can make sure that you're not being overcharged by, for example, if it's a basic doll they have listed, check what the company's selling it for, and the person that you're buying from shouldn't be selling it for much more than what the company charges regular if it's just a basic doll. So if they're selling their doll and they say it's in perfect condition with a custom face up and a lot of extras, they shouldn't be charging much more than what it is listed on the company website. If there are damages, then you'll have to make the decision whether the doll is still worth your while, and if it is, that they've reflected the damages in the price. If the doll's limited, you'll have to do a bit more research. Check what others have been asking for the doll, what it originally sold for, what it sold for in the past. Checking graveyarded threads can be helpful for this. So make sure that you're not being ripped off that way from scalpers. Don't be afraid to ask for additional photos. That's my other piece of advice. You need to know what you're buying, so make sure that you are able to see the doll nude, see it at all angles in good lighting so you can tell if there's any damages or yellowing. And also asking for an additional photo of a certain pose or a certain aspect of the doll will also help you guarantee that the seller actually has the doll in their possession. So you know that it belongs to them and that there aren't, oops, sorry, my computer did a thing, that there aren't more damages than are being advertised. And I learned that the hard way by getting a doll that I didn't see truly clear photos of, and I should have asked for more with my girl that I bought secondhand who I had I had some issues with her. So, alright. Another thing is make sure that you read the seller's feedback. If other people are having issues with transactions with the seller, then chances are you probably don't want a chance buying from them. Also, if you are buying secondhand, make sure that you leave feedback after your transaction too, to help further purchasers. I really appreciate when I can read a lot of feedback and it's usually positive, and then I can make an informed decision as to whether I want to make the purchase or not. So read your seller feedback and give feedback where feedback is due. If you are worried that your doll might be a recast, you can ask for photos of any certificates that it came with, any markings that are inside the head or on the head cap that can help you determine the authenticity of the doll. Or if the person notes that they're the first owner of the doll, you can also ask for a screen cap of the receipt from the company that shows their purchase, if it doesn't have any of the other things with it. Otherwise, unfortunately, there's not a ton of ways to tell whether the doll is recast or not. So just be careful, and researching what dolls there are a lot of recasts of is also helpful. Finally, my final thing to make sure that you're not getting ripped off is, as soon as you get your doll from a secondhand seller, or even as soon as you get the doll from the company, make sure that you inspect it and report any issues right away. So if there's any issues whatsoever with your doll, make sure that you take photos of them and as quickly as possible send them back to the seller. You want to be quick with that so that too much time doesn't pass and then you run past deadlines of being able to get your money back or anything like that. So try and do that as quickly as possible. Hopefully you won't have to do that. Hopefully the previous research will serve you well and you won't need to actually file any sort of disputes. But it does happen. It happened to me. I bought a secondhand doll and she had a lot of damages when she was advertised as being in perfect condition, and I didn't see them in the photos. And they could have been old photos too that she had posted. So I ended up I contacted her first, the seller, and she gave me some money back. And then I posted in her feedback thread explaining what had happened and that she had resolved it with me, but we had an issue. So hopefully that didn't reflect too poorly against her, because she did end up fixing it, but there were the issues previously to that were unacceptable. So sometimes things like that happen. Happens to me, can happen to you, but hopefully it won't. We'll cross our fingers that all future transactions for everyone viewing this are positive and fantastic. So good luck with your dolly purchasing, friends, and happy shopping. Avoid your scams. Take care.